Behind every milestone are the stories of countless Filipinos whose lives have been touched by the Office of the Vice President. We are committed to bringing tangible change directly to those who need it most. Recognizing that peace is built on hope and opportunity, the OVP made the strategic decision to bring its Pagbabago program to Patikul Sulu, a former battleground.
Mahirap talaga noon. Karanas kami sobra. Pati yung naghanap buhay, sobra talagang naranasan namin. Pero iba na ngayon. Maganda na yung sitwasyon natin ngayon. Nakabalik na kami dito.
By providing students with the tools they need to succeed, the OVP empowers them with a sense of dignity, inspiring them to learn and giving them a renewed sense of hope for their education and their future. The Pagbabago campaign is a two-pronged investment in our future. We have distributed over 400,000 bags and planted close to 1 million trees across the country. Our operational excellence and financial discipline ensure every peso counts. The women of Barangay Adia received a 150,000 peso grant and generated a remarkable profit of 102,000 pesos in just 4 months. Our grants are strategically distributed to ensure maximum impact. Group enterprises receive an average grant of 150,000 pesos, while individual beneficiaries are provided with 15,000 pesos, ensuring every peso supports the right scale of enterprise.
Madami na pong mga gobyerno na nakaupo, wala pa hong nag-alok sa samahan ng mga kababaihan. Nawa po ay marami pa po kayong matulungan ng mga samahan, katulad po ng aming samahan.
For many survivors of Typhoon Yolanda, a new home came with a new challenge, the daily struggle of commuting. The OVP's Libreng Sakay bus was the answer. Libreng Sakay alleviates the financial burden on working Filipinos and gives them back a sense of comfort and safety.
Ay naku, napakalaking tulong ho. Napakalaking ginawa, especially sa mga estudyante pa rin. Katulad ko, meron akong high school. Mag-high school ngayon, kasakay ng libre na.
Since 2022, the Libreng Sakay program has provided over 2.5 million free rides. This program gives a much-needed financial break to workers and students in key cities across the Philippines. The OVP launched the Janaza Kit initiative in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. This tailored support provides essential items for Islamic funeral rites. Ensuring cultural sensitivity is a cornerstone of our service, providing dignity during a time of grief.
Napakagandang inisyatibo ito ng ating BP. Ang kahalaga nito sa amin, ang mandatory po ito sa amin. Kahit walang-wala kami, dapat hanapin na bilang paraan para makabili lang kami ng ganito. Kaya kung may ganito na, ay naku, alhamdulillah, napakalaking tulong po sa amin. Kasi hindi po kami maghihirap.
Our medical and burial assistance programs have provided a lifeline for Filipinos in a time of need. Our presence on the ground is a promise to the people, ensuring vital services are delivered directly where they are needed. The OVP's Disaster Operations Center has assisted over 369,831 families in their most vulnerable moments. We complement local response teams in mobilizing resources to save lives and rebuild communities. Our focus is on quality and impact. The You Can Be VP program mentors our future leaders. The Kalusugan food truck delivers hot meals to frontliners. And our RISE program provides food security to families in crisis. These achievements are not ours alone. We work hand in hand with government agencies, LGUs, NGOs, and the private sector, leveraging resources for a broader, more sustainable impact. Our commitment is embodied by our 10 satellite offices, strategically located across the archipelago, ensuring that Filipinos in remote areas receive timely and accessible services. The Office of the Vice President remains steadfast in its mission to serve, to uplift, and to empower every Filipino. Together, let us work towards a stronger, more resilient, and more inclusive nation.
Now we have Attorney Kelvin Tenido for a presentation on the OVP 2026 budget proposal.
Good morning, everyone. We are pleased to share the highlights of the OVP budget under the FY 2026 National Expenditure Program, or the NEP. For fiscal year 2026, the DBM has recommended a budget of 902.895 million vis-a-vis the 942.038 million proposal of the OVP. The amount recommended is 21.3% higher than the FY 2025 budget as appropriated. For the budget dimensions, first, under personal services, recommended PS level for fiscal year 2026 is 23.5% of the total recommended budget. This is equivalent to 212.538 million. This amount is higher by 12.14% than the FY 2025 PS level as appropriated. Personal services or PS items cover salaries, benefits, and allowances of 162 field positions. It also includes the special duty allowance for military and uniform personnel and salary for non-permanent positions. The total PS, including the RLIP, for fiscal year 2026 is 212.538 million. Under the maintenance and other operating expenses, or MOOE, the recommended MOOE for fiscal year 2026 is equivalent to 673.753 million. This amount is 34.96% higher than the FY 2025 level. OVP's MOE under the FY 2026 NEP comprises 74.62% of the overall proposed OVP budget. For the highlights, allocations for supplies and materials as well as financial assistance or subsidies are intended for goods and grants that will be directly received by the OVP target beneficiaries or clients. Travel and representation expenses support the operational needs of the OVP in implementing its programs and projects, including its ceremonial and executive functions. Lastly, the provisions for professional services and rent expenses cover the service fees of contract of service personnel, IT-related consultancy services aligned with the endorsed ISSP, and the operational needs of the OVP satellite offices. As for the capital outlay, the total capital outlay budget is only 1.84% of the total recommended budget, or equivalent to 16.6 million. Recommended CO covers the procurement of various information and communication technology outlays, consistent with the FY 2026 endorsed Information System Strategic Plan. As for the appropriation source, in total, the amount under agency-specific budget is 889.2.36 million and 13.695 million under automatic appropriations. The table shows the comparative budget of the OVP from 2020 to 2025 under the GAA and the 2026 under the NEP. Prior to fiscal year 2023, the OVP budget ranged between 700 million and 900 million. It was only in FY 2023 and 2024 that the budget exceeded 1 billion level, primarily due to the increased allocation for financial assistance and subsidy to support the provision of medical and burial assistance. For fiscal year 2025 and 2026, the OVP budget will return to its pre-2023 levels with 744 million allocated for the current year or year 2025 and 902.9 million for the succeeding year or fiscal year 2026. For the targets per activity of the total OVP budget under the NEP, 275.18 million or 30.5% is allotted for various goods and grants under socioeconomic programs of the OVP. For the accomplishments, as the second highest office in the land, the OVP aims to promote the welfare of every Filipino in line with its vision to create lasting impacts on the lives of every Filipino through its socioeconomic programs and services. Presented are the different programs of the OVP since 2022. For 2026, the OVP maintained these programs except for the Medical and Burial Assistance Program. The 10 satellite offices and 1 extension office continue to operate in key areas in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao to provide Filipinos with immediate access to the services offered by the OVP. In Luzon, we have Cagayan Valley Satellite Office, Pangasinan Satellite Office, and Bicol Satellite Office. In Visayas, Cebu Bohol Siquijor Satellite Office, Eastern Visayas Office, Panay and Negros Island Satellite Office, and in Mindanao, Caraga Satellite Office, Southern Mindanao Satellite Office, Western Mindanao Satellite Office, and BARM Satellite Office. We also established an extension office in Tondo, Manila. Last year, the OVP has continued the implementation of its flagship programs. With a target of 1,013,620 beneficiaries for the year, a total of 1.780079 individuals and groups were served. Also, 470 partnerships with government agencies, CSOs, and medical institutions, and other external stakeholders were established and strengthened. Likewise, the OVP successfully implemented 99% of all planned projects. It must also be noted that the OVP achieved an average satisfaction rating of 90% for its services, including the requests acted upon within the standard processing time. And finally, the office completed a total of 490 engagements with partners and stakeholders. For fiscal year 2024, the OVP obligation rate maintained at 85% mark. The OVP has 85.55% BUR, or equivalent to 1.783 billion, with 86.03 disbursement rate, or 1.534 million. For fiscal year 2025, the OVP has continued the implementation of its flagship programs designed to provide the Filipino people with access to basic social services. With a target of 1.047935 beneficiaries for the year, a total of 595,700 individuals, or 57% of the target, were served across all OVP programs and services during the first semester. The OVP has also established 242 partnerships with government agencies, CSOs, private sector entities, and individual stakeholders to support the development and implementation of its various initiatives. Notably, the OVP successfully implemented 100% of all planned projects encompassing activities such as social preparation, technical assistance, and program implementation. Further, the OVP achieved an average satisfaction rating of 97% for its services, exceeding the target of 90%. In addition, the office completed a total of 770 engagements with partners and stakeholders, further strengthening collaboration and support for its programs. For fiscal year 2025, as of June 30, the OVP has 756.33 million total released allotment and a continuing appropriation equivalent to 147.1 million, totaling the available allotment for the year to 900.43 million. As of the same period, the OVP has obligated 34.3% of the available allotment received, equivalent to 309.7 million, and with a disbursement rate of 66.8% or 206.8 million. The OVP's mid-year utilization rate remains consistent with the previous years. Although the current year is 34% fall short of the mid-year target, the OVP is confident in maintaining an obligation rate above 85% by year-end, as has been achieved in the prior years. As a final note, the OVP holds a distinct position in our bureaucracy. As the second highest office in the land, the OVP carries out functions that complement the work of other government agencies while advancing the well-being of the Filipino people. With a mission to deliver efficient, accessible, and responsive public services, our work resonates at the core of our nation's welfare and progress. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Attorney Kelvin. For our first question, we have Jason from SMNI.
Hi, Sir. Jason po ulit ng SMNI. First question po on the 2025 programs. Kumusta po ang pagpapatupad ng mga programa ngayong 2025 given na limited lang po yung budget ng ahensya? And have all the funds already been exhausted, or are there still remaining resources po to sustain the programs until the end of this year?
Okay. Good morning, Jason. The first question on the implementation will be answered by our Director for Operations, Norman Baloro, and on the utilization, it will be answered by our Budget Chief, Attorney Kelvin Tenido.
Thank you, Asikim. Well, foremost, sir, we would like to inform the public, especially the Filipino people, that the flagship programs of the Office of Vice President are well implemented effectively and efficiently all across the country, especially in our 10 satellite offices. Not just to brag, sir, but there are a lot of people already, being felt already the programs and services of the Office of the Vice President. So all of these programs, again, are well implemented on ground, and this is with the support of the satellite offices all across the country.
For the utilization, as mentioned earlier, as of June 30, the obligation rate of the OVP is 34.3% of the available allotment. We make do of what we have in implementing the programs, and we commit to deliver the services that the OVP has started since 2022. Thank you.
Sir, second question on the 2026 deliberations naman po. What challenges do we expect to face during the process? Do we anticipate encountering the same issues such as confidential funds being tackled again, at paano po natin ito pinaghahandaan?
Okay, again, thank you very much, Maimuntag, Jason. So, on the question, the OVP is currently preparing for the budget hearing for tomorrow, and we are ready to answer any questions that will be asked of the team for tomorrow. So we are collating all the necessary documentations for us to be able to properly defend the proposed budget of the OVP.
Pero expected natin, sir, yung confidential funds matatakil kahit wala naman kayong request?
Again, we will try to answer all the questions that will be asked tomorrow of the OVP. We are preparing.
Wait lang po. Thank you, Asik. For our next question po muna, we have Jed from UNTV.
Good morning po, Jed po from UNTV. In relation po sa tanong ni Kuya Jason, paano po nag-prepare ang Office of the Vice President para sa budget hearing sa House for tomorrow? Thank you po.
The OVP, through the Budget Division and in coordination with the other divisions of the OVP, has consolidated all the reports submitted. We reviewed it, and we also considered the possible questions to be raised to the OVP.
Next question po. Do we have an idea if VP Sara will go personally po sa budget hearing sa House tomorrow?
In relation to the attendance of the Vice President to the budget hearing tomorrow, she has not yet provided a final answer if she will go to the hearing or not.
Thank you, Asik. For our next question, we have Kat Domingo from ABS-CBN.
Good morning, sir. Katrina Domingo from ABS-CBN News. Hot topic online nowadays is the travel expenses of the Vice President. So far, under the 2025 budget, how much has the OVP spent for the Vice President's trips abroad?
Thank you, Kat. The question will be answered by Attorney Kelvin Tenido.
For 2025, around more or less around 20 million has been obligated for the travels of the Vice, for the travels of the OVP, and including the expenses of the security personnel and the civilian personnel.
Ito po, in particular, are just foreign trips. Hindi kasama yung trips to Davao, Cebu, Mindanao. All foreign expenses lang po itong 20 million.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, for the 2026 budget, how much has been allocated for the Vice President's trips abroad?
For 2026? Okay. For 2026, the allocation is 20 million for 2026 NEP. This is the lowest allocation since 2023, and the highest allocation made was 31.5 million.
Sir, last question on the topic. For 2025, ilang % na po ng travel expense allocation yung natitira? And how many countries has the Vice President been to that covered 20 million pesos?
Can we move to the next question muna? I'll check lang in the data.
Sige, sir, balikan niyo ako, ha?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Kelvin. For our next question, we have Jai from Bombo Radio.
Hi, sir. Will Congress reduce the Office of the Vice President budget when deliberating the General Appropriations Act?
Sorry, again.
Sa tingin niyo po ba, will the Congress reduce the Office of the Vice President budget when deliberating the General Appropriations Act?
Of course, it has been always the position of the Office of the Vice President that we submit to the wisdom of the Congress. However, we would appreciate it much if the recommended budget for 2026 would be maintained and approved for the OVP.
Okay. Thank you, Asek. And then for our next question, we have Zach from Inquirer.
Medyo different topic lang po. Vice President Sara Duterte previously said that she will be going to Bicol. I believe she said na magkakaroon ng sectoral gatherings together with OVP. Pwede po manghingi ng details kung ano po yung plans niya during this trip?
Unfortunately, Zach, we cannot provide details on this one. We are here. We would appreciate if the questions would be centered around the budget proposal.
Okay po. Pero okay lang po ma-confirm. But with OVP naman po itong program na to, yung trip niya sa Bicol region.
It has been announced already by the VP that yes, she will go to Bicol. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Zach. And then we have Sir Kelvin.
Going back to the question earlier, the total travel expenses of the OVP as of July 31 is 20.68 million. I stand corrected with the statement of 20 million for the foreign travels. The 20.68 million, 13.21 million of which is under local travels and 7.47 million under the foreign travels of the OVP. Out of 20.68 million as of July 31, 13.207 million under local travels, and foreign travel, 7.473 million. 7.473.
Ilang percent po ito nung total allocation for 2025?
More or less 25% for the foreign travels, and for the local travels, around 40%. 40 for the local. As of July 31, the balances are 17.585 million for local and foreign 24.03 million. Balances as of July 31 under local travel 17.585 million, foreign travel 24.026 million.
Okay, thank you, Sir Kelvin, for follow-up, ma'am.
Good morning po. Belia Carriazo from the Philippine Star. Sir, based dun sa record ng media, at least 13 foreign travels na tama ang nasa listahan ni Vice President. And can you identify these countries? Sa katuloy po ba yung sa Nagoya and yung sa Tokyo this September 20 and 21?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bella, for your for the question. Okay, on the matter of the foreign travels, now we'll have to get the details on this one on the number of destinations, but we'd like to emphasize that all the travel overseas of the Vice President is covered by a travel authority and did not include any public funds. I did not use any public funds. Thank you. Ma'am, I cannot provide information on regarding the travel of future travels of the Vice President. We'll have to check on her schedule.
Sir, just to clarify, you mentioned that the travels of the Vice President have been covered by Travel Authority and did not include public funds. So saan po nagastos yung 7.473 million for the foreign trips?
The 7.47 million was utilized for the security personnel of the OVP and including the close-in or the civilian personnel.
Tama po ba na so far, every time na magta-travel si VP Sara abroad, ang covered niya po is her personal expenses as well as her family's expenses. But as for her security, that's still under taxpayers' money? Under the OVP fund. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we have follow-up from Rappler.
This is still about the budget. Yeah. Hi po, I am Bonis Magsambal from Rappler. Sir, I saw sa presentation kanina that the Pagbabago campaign will be allotted 100 million. So will 2026 Pagbabago campaign still include ang Kaibigan book by VP Sara, and how much budget is allocated for this?
Thank you, Sir Bons. To answer the question, we don't have the Kaibigan book for the Pagbabago campaign. We still have maintained the Pagbabago bags, the dental kits, and the soul supplies for the 100,000, and that would bring around 200,000 bags for the 10 satellite offices all across the country.
Sir, what triggered po yung removal ng ang Kaibigan book doon sa Pagbabago bags, of course, which has been criticized in the previous years?
Okay, so we took note of the comments and recommendations of the Congress during the budget deliberation of the OVP last year. So we took note of that, and again, for this year and the years moving forward, the Pagbabago bag will include the bag itself, and it will contain school supplies and the dental kits as initially proposed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Asek. Another follow-up.
Good morning. I'm Raymond Antonio from Manila Bulletin. May we know who's the OVP budget sponsor? And have you initially meet her regarding this deliberation? Thank you.
Yes, we already have a budget sponsor for the OVP. It will be Congressman Jose Alvarez of Palawan, and we have already provided them with the necessary information in preparation for the budget hearing for tomorrow.
Thank you, Asek. Do we have any more follow-up questions?
We are yet to receive confirmation coming from the Senate, but then again, we are already preparing for the submission of the necessary documents for the Senate budget hearing.
Okay, thank you, Asek. Kat, for follow-up, please.
Sir, you mentioned there was a decline, a dip in the request or the amount of travel expenses or travel allocation for 2026. What was the wisdom behind that decision to lower that allocation for next year?
Usually, it's the absorptive capacity of an agency. It's a standard protocol for all the agencies. I think the DBM applies the same for other agencies.
Sir, just to clarify, is it not because it's an election year this year and it's not an election year next year?
Actually, we consider the election year in crafting the budget. For this specific item, no.
Okay, thank you. Next question.
Hello, I'm Andrea from Bloomberg. You mentioned that your budget proposal was higher than the one that was given to you. So, nabawasan po dun sa NEP. Ano po yung mga hindi na-grant na allocations?
There is an ISSP, or the Information System Strategic Plan. Portion of those proposals were not included in the, or were not considered in the NEP.
What is the ISSP for?
It's the IT infrastructure or the systems of the agencies.
And then, how will your operations suffer, or?
We prioritize our need. based on our endorsed ISSP, just to fit in with the amount given to us.
And then on VP Sara's foreign trips, she usually interfaces with the OFWs po, ano? So meron bang na yung kumbaga meron ba siyang mga nakakalap na needs to ng OFWs or their families here na course through your office and then parang na-extend na tulong. I mean, I'm just trying to understand the dynamics of her trips and how the OVP plays into that.
Okay, in relation to the foreign trips of the VP, no, yes, we do acknowledge the presence ng mga OFWs natin no, outside of the country, and we also take note of their concerns and their issues na they are raising whenever they meet the Vice President, because we also understand that kahit wala sila dito sa loob ng Pilipinas, they are still Filipinos, and we still recognize the issues and concerns that they are raising.
Thank you, Asik. And then for our last question.
Isa lang.
Sir, and additionally, also, yes, additionally also, sir, when there's foreign travel by the Vice President, or also referrals coming from the Vice President with regard to the distressed OFW. So what we did is we are also referring it to the appropriate agency, like the Department of Migrant Workers. Meron pong mga instances and situation po na niya.
Thank you, Director Norman. Yes, sir, last question.
Good morning. Ron Calunson, sir, sa Kyoto News. Sir, with your indulgence, Sir Lemuel, about the Japan trip ni Vice President, kasi she herself said it in The Hague. Just want to make sure kung both Nagoya and Tokyo trips yung pupuntahan niya, sir, or?
Sir, unfortunately, sir, I do not have detailed information on the trip of the VP to Japan. So I'm sorry I cannot provide information. Thank you.
I'm sorry, that concludes our press conference. Everyone, thank you so much for coming today. Meron po tayong pagkain and information you can ask po Sir JC, our Media Relations Officer. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our directors and chiefs. Thank you.